Sunday comes upon us once again. It's another fine time to talk about the latest happenings in the world of sports right here in Nigeria and across Africa. I'll bring you up to speed as concerns the biggest stories in the world of sports in the country. Now, matters arising as regards Nigerian Premier League football as well as the Nigerian Football Federation, as we hear that they've announced a new coach, which is Enyimba international coach, talking about Finidi George from Enugu Rangers in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Returned yet again to winning ways. Aqua United were able to put 3 goals past pillars. We take a look at how these teams fare in very fine details in the course of this show. Also, we'll talk about the Nigerian Women Football League that crescendoed last week. We understand that some teams have joined the likes of Nassau Amazons and Headland Prince to play at the Nigerian Women League Super 6 that will go down later this year, and we'll talk many more about our players in diaspora, how they fared in their respective club side. It's good to be back here. My name is Joshua Ojo, and Jerry joins the conversation from commercial capital in Lagos State, and together we shall do justice to the stories that we have right here. Good afternoon, Jerry. It's good to have you join me. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Good afternoon to our listener. And then,
how is Lagos today, Jerry?
I say right now it's sunny, but the weather can change at any time. So let's just say it's fine. It's here.
All right now. We begin a conversation from Nigerian football. Now we understand that the Nigerian Football Federation last week appointed a new coach for the Super Eagles. For quite some time now, the team has been without a coach since the former gaffer left, talking about Jose Peseiro. Now let's talk about this man coming on board now. He understands the Nigerian football very well. He was a product of local football right here in Nigeria before he played across the Atlantic in Europe. You would agree with me, he's a standout player. He achieved quite some good things while he was playing. And when you talk about his managerial career too, he's done quite well for Enyimba so far. You look at where they are on the table now. Talk to me, what is the feeling like? How would you describe this appointment by the NFF? Do you think what is best for Super Eagles at this point in time?
There's nothing that is best or that is worse. It all depends on our I can say it's just relative. It depends on our specification. Right now, the NFF and the Ministry of Sport Development, they want to cut down costs, and because of that, certainly we're going to reduce our appearances or our weakness. Certainly, go down to getting a local coach. So, which you say, okay, Finidi and the rest of what Africa local-based coach, the Nigerian-based coach, will actually apply for that kind of job. But we have to say, okay, what are our best? We can say, okay, that will be based on what we have, our pulse right now. So let me say, our pulse determines our best. So that was what streamlined the kind of coach we have right now.
Okay, now talk us through again. Now looking at Finidi George now coming on board now, where many have said that after the 2 matches that he was tested, you're talking about the one with Ghana and also Mali, many are not really that convinced with his style of play. Do you share the same sentiment, or you think now that he has a job, we're going to see a lot more different Super Eagles under Finidi George?
Okay, thank you very much. For me, I tell people that friendly matches shouldn't be the measure or the yardstick to judge anybody. Yes, we've seen it over time that Jose Peseiro did not even do well in his friendly game. In the first 2 friendly games, they were poor games. They didn't even win. So his friendly games were poor. Even on going to the Nations Cup, his friendly matches were not where we were just like, okay, we just want to go there. Let's hope we get to the round of 16. That was how it was. How bad it was. Those friendly matches were. So friendly matches are not really. I felt that you don't really point or you determine the performance of a coach based on the friendly matches that you played. However, you can also test it because wow, this person has done well with these friendly games. This person is going to do well. But you can still all these things boil down to when the real work starts. Because if you win a game in a friendly, it's a friendly game. It's not a real game. It's like a pseudo game. It's not real. It's just to test waters. They are not picking any. They are not winning any melter. There's no any 3 points. There's no points that will be shared. Fine. No, the historical records. But all those ones are not even as important. The really important thing is that when you want to play three, maybe a qualifier, the World Cup qualifier, the Nations Cup qualifier, the World Cup, or even the Nations Cup or Olympics, that's when you can now start saying, okay, this is the real game. And this is what matters. Those are the games that matters. But all those ones friendly matches, they are not really the measures to judge a coach, because a lot of things. Maybe, okay, for example, when Naija played the friendly game, our top players were not there. Victor Osimhen, Boniface did not play in that game. Ekong did not play in that game. So tell me, those that played in the AFCON, the key player, the most valuable player in the AFCON, did not even play in their friendly game. So you want to use that to judge. And then that's okay, we lost. The guy that is actually the marshal of the defense line did not play. So the best player, the most valuable player in the tournament, did not play. Top striker, did not play. Now, some might say, okay, that is like so finished. But at the same time, you can't really use friendly matches to judge a coach who was appointed on interim at that time. So that maybe he has got his team, he has got his own philosophy, was just there, okay, don't stay there till you get the coach. So right now, when he keeps on thinking, he's going to play that coach, okay, yes. For me, I'm not even going to talk to you guys. For me, if I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to start from maybe after the first 2 games qualifiers. Then I'll say, okay, I think we have a future with Finidi. But right now, Finidi it's just like when you are just a jamba. A jamba will just get admission to school. You have to find admission. That's what it is to me. So you have not done any CA, you have not done anything. So that's just it. So his CGPA is 5.3. So when he writes his first exam after the grade, then we cannot necessarily have the future to finish well or abysmally in the national team.
Alright, now going forward, now Finidi has been appointed, the deed has been done. Now talk to us with his tactical plan, with the way he plays at Enyimba. Are we going to see more of attacking football in the Super Eagles setup? When you look back to how we played in the African Cup of Nations, it's more like ultra defensive from Ose Peseiro, and he has understudied Ose Peseiro for quite some time now. Are we going to see a different style of play in Nigerian setup? And also, are we going to see more of home-based player being integrated into the national team?
Okay, I asked about 3 questions in one. Okay, let me start with it now. Number 1, Finidi is different from Ose Peseiro. So certainly Finidi's game plan might quite be different from Ose Peseiro. So, and I felt that one of the reasons why we had that kind of situation in the AFCON was because of the condition of the game we play. The kind of squad we have, our squad depth actually affected. We have a standing, like I said, Salazar that plays in very setting. And it's AFCON. You can't be risking anything, you don't have to stick to what's best, what you want to like. And now, someone can criticize Enyimba in some ways, and one of the ways I which I criticize the way they, like, despite that Finidi used to be an attacker, Enyimba had problems with goal scoring last season. They were not really scoring goals, and I expected them to score. His first season with Enyimba was very, very poor. Enyimba finished in the 8th position. He recorded about 38% victories in about 39 games, total games in that season. So Enyimba wasn't really okay. That we were really fantastic like that in his first season. We were not really attacking well. He missed the Continental. They head out from the Continental playoffs, and all those things. And the second season was a bit fair, their big league was not really a marathon league like that. So you can't say, okay, maybe the kind of persistency or that resilience that you have right now. And I think this is now the time that we can now test how well Finidi Jordan's put in place, because now they played marathon league, played about There's 2 games, and you see the Evans blocking in the 4th position, in the 2nd position right now. We are waiting for when Remo starts to Naija by Barcelona. So now, now, just all these things in terms of tactics and everything. One thing I understand Finidi job today is Finidi is someone who is a steady person. And if you look at the way Naija played in the past 2 seasons, discovered that he's a progressive person.
Yeah.
However, I don't know if the Super Eagles is a place where you can do that. Because right now, the Super Eagles have a lot of issues and we need to get back to the top of the chart in the World Cup qualifier. Yeah. So it's someone that he loves to start build it gradually. He's noticed that he started integrating some things, putting some pictures, some players that he felt that they're going to be useful for him. Trying to put them right there in the perspective. So Finidi is not that magician. But I thought that there are going to be a lot of positives with Finidi because number one, the players love him, and I think that's one of the things the NFL are looking into because they've seen that the continuity, because he understands the setup. He has been with Barcelona for 20 months. He covers up. So we might not be having that home-based thing right now. But I can assure that we have a very strong and complete team united that is united by law and by common purpose.
Now, T-Wonder has joined the conversation also from Commercial Capital now. Together, we'll expand the conversation of the Nigerian Premier Football League. We'll start off from Enugu Rangers. They return to winning ways after losing away from Adokia Masimeka Stadium. T-Wonder, let me start from you. You said it last week that we might see them coming back to the limelight, coming back to winning ways, even after Fidelis Lechuku said that winning the title is not on his mind. But right now, he's got a win in the weekend again to stay top of the log. What's your reaction as far as match day 32 is concerned? And let's talk about Enugu Rangers now. They're picking up a vital win in that particular one to keep them back in the race of the title and also staying in top 4.
Yeah, like I said last week, I said you can't just believe whatever the coach tells you about him not winning the league, because winning the league is always the major priority of any coach anywhere in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. So it's a good one seeing Enugu Rangers picking a 2-0 victory over Plateau United the weekend, and actually a good one for them because it's going to boost their chances of winning the league this season. And they still have to buckle up because like I said, any little mistake, even a draw, might actually affect them. So they have to be up and running this season.
Now, Jerry, are you still there?
Yeah, yes.
Now talk us through your own reaction about Enugu Rangers coach reaction after last week when he lost to. Do you also believe he's playing mind games and now getting back to winning ways? What do you make of Enugu Rangers run? Do you think they stand a better chance of clinching the trophy ahead of other teams?
Okay. I think was it Friday? I was speaking with Fidelis Electrical, and that's Friday. I was speaking with him and I was like, okay, coach, are you really surprised being in this place right now? He said they worked for it. And however, it wasn't that maybe we were under pressure by management to get to that state. He said they were just, it's based on their commitment. And that's why they've been able to attain that level. But just like what T-Wonder said, winning the league is something that every coach in the Nigerian league wants to achieve, regardless of, even if you don't even have a good squad. Every one of them wants to put their faith. It's a leap of faith, just like appointed. So it's a leap of faith that okay, let's just try, let's test waters, let's see if we're capable of doing that. So yeah, I think it's something that we need is going to be so excited about. Don't forget that 2 seasons ago, when I was with Plateau United, he missed out of that opportunity.
Yeah.
He missed out of that opportunity with Plateau United, and even when he was with MFMFC, he missed out that opportunity. But this time around, he will be looking at that. He this time around, this is fourth club in the Nigerian league, and he will be looking at, okay, he wouldn't want to miss this for anything. He wouldn't want to miss this for anything, because this is going to add up to many other positions that he'll be attaining. Middle East Electrical is very young. He's one of the prospective Super Eagles coach in the future. So, and these are the things that we count on. So he needs to start working on that. And winning the league is one of the things.
Let's leave Enugu Rangers. Let's talk about Aqua United. Over the weekend, they put 3 goals past Kano Pillars at their home ground, talking about the next top champions. And one man who has proved to be very, very influential to this team, talking about Ubon Friday, who joined them back from a Maltese club. He was there last season, but then he left, and now he's back. And he has scored quite some decent goal, making the total of 8 since joining them in the winter transfer. Now, talk to us. What are your reactions? Aqua United picking up that vital win that they need, and as it stands now, they've beaten the relegation waters. And it's all about, can they stay up? Talk to us through about that reaction. 3 goals are putting past a certain Kano Pillars, who for quite some time now we felt like they were title contenders.
It's really surprising performance for me. Though I'm not surprised, because Aqua United they are actually home, and when it comes to home football, I they do pull 1 or 2 triggers whenever they are home. And then for Open Friday, he's a good addition to this team. He's a very good addition to this team, and he has actually proved himself in that match against the Caribbean. He scored two good goals with a penalty and an open kick. So it's a good one for him. That's Open Friday, and I know he can still do better. But I think I will implore Aqua United to try and put things together, so at least they can actually meet up 1 or 2 things this season, because this season everyone is expecting them to be this.
Alright, now they've beaten the relegation waters, they've beaten the drop for now. But with a couple of matches to go, it's all about, can they stay up? That is the story for Aqua United now, and also Ubon Friday, who has been fantastic ever since he rejoined Aqua United back from the Maltese club. Now, also in other results, Remo Star Sports Club of Ikene keeps their title chase ahead after beating the certain Naija Tornadoes at the Ikene Township Stadium. Also, Enyimba FC of Aba were able to pick up a win as well when they defeated Katsina United. Now, before we look at other stories in the Nigerian Premier Football League, let's quickly talk about one thing that did pop up a couple of days ago, talking about the match between Doma United and Enyimba FC of Aba. The match ended 1-0. I have never seen something like that before in my life, because if you go through the van of the people broadcasting the match to look for the video, now what would you do to other matches where it's not broadcasted? If you just want to initiate or introduce a certain video assistant referee, that should be done. Now, as at that point in time, then when the incidents happened, I talked about this to some of my friends, and then I felt like it makes no sense. But afterwards, now the referee has came out to say that he was forced to make such decisions. Now, Timothy, talk us through what do you make of this? It's looking like the beautiful game that we used to enjoy. Some people are dancing the joy right there. Now, talk to us about this. What do you make of it? And at this point in time, you feel like the disciplinary committee of the Nigerian Football Federation has done quite well to make sure that Enyimba FC were deducted the 2 points.
Yeah, it's let me say it's a good decision, bro. I guess we still need to put something in place. I remember at the beginning of the season, I guess we had a discussion that has to do with implementation of VAR to the league. If there was VAR implemented in the league, that would have been an easy task for the referee, for the central referee, because he would have just gone through to the video assistant referee small television and check whatever has really happened before his decision. To me, it's a really wrong decision. It's a bad decision for the referees to have actually gone into the like you said earlier. You said let's assume there was no televised van. This happened the year one and year two, because they should have actually been able to know what really happened.
Now, Jerry, we're talking about the decision made by the NFF disciplinary committee to dock Enyimba of 2 points after that incident that happened between them and Doma United. Talk to us about your own reaction. Still want to have said quite some things in that particular incident. Now, talk us through. Do you think it's a nice move by the NFF disciplinary committee?
Okay, thank you. For me, I think that the referee actually needs to be dealt with. Because number one, because if you look at the way, if you look at the line by which this issue followed, you know that this thing wasn't universal. And another reason again is that the referee actually had the decision to actually turn down that penalty call or to accept it. So for me, it's just really a title, but as it is, the NFF, the disciplinary committee have taken action. The best thing is just for everyone.
But according to the referee, he said they made sure he made that decision to award the goal for the Enyimba International Club. And for me, at first, I see no reason why the referee would leave the pitch to go and check the van. What if it was other games that were not televised? What would have happened then?
That was another thing. So, like I said, there are a lot of things, a lot of things to that's no, don't get this right, actually. Because this is just like now, these are one of the activities. You know, if it was a planned wrong, if the reason for them not for the paper or not for the paper, from intending for the league. There are a lot of so
Yeah, sorry, John, Jerry. True, I really understand that part where you said, what if it's just to drop Enyimba from the title race? Fine. Now let's see it in the angle of the referee as well. The referee trying to protect himself from so he can leave the pitch safely. What if we see it in that aspect?
Yes.
Because you know, when it comes to games like this, the referee has to be very careful. Look at the decision was a bit cloudy because you cannot really see what really happened. He himself was not really sure what really happened. And he needed something to be very sure so he can get home safely to make that decision. But let's see that if the referee was trying to make sure he gets home safely, he's able to leave the pitch in peace.
It could be
like
too.
I said that's why there are a lot of hidden truths to that story. A lot of hidden truths to that story. That the referee might be right and the Enyimba might be wrong. So, and a lot of maybe an outsider job again. I think it's also bad that we just have to accept it and let it be done. Staying long on talking more about this matter doesn't really bring back the point that the Enyimba has lost. We just said, okay, let's just give kudos to the disciplinary committee for going back for the business. So, but why the disciplinary committee has done this? Would they kindly check the Rivers United against Katsina United and give us the verdict as soon as possible before the league resumes back later this month?
That's another one. But you know what, Jerry? I think we need to include the disciplinary committee as well because decisions like this needs to be made within 7 days, or probably before the next match is being played. Because look at it now. Look at numbers of games that have been played after what happened. Deducting their points.
A lot of hidden truths are in this thing.
Alright, now I thoroughly appreciate your plight on that particular issue. NFF disciplinary committee has done quite well to make sure that justice is being served. But to me, I feel like we could always do better going forward. Maybe next season we can go by the way of introducing VAR to support this referee to get best decision when they're officiating it. Let's leave Nigerian Premier Football League now and talk about Nigerian Women League that crescendoed last weekend. Myself and T1 did talk about the last match day, how intense it could get, and after matches were decided last week Wednesday, Thursday, we did see that a couple of teams were able to make it to the Nigerian Women Football League Super 6, while battle of relegation did also go down now. Jerry, now talk to us, which of this team that did made Super 6 in the women's division are you excited to see? And going forward now, who would you pick to win that trophy, and teams that you would want to see represent Nigeria at the continental stage?
I think It's Bayelsa. I think Bayelsa. I think the reason for them. I think before during their good record during the FA Cup, that was about 2 years ago. You know, I'm rooting for them. And I think 3 years ago, we're rooting for them. And I think I can't wait to see them get back on that top flight state that it used to be. So I think for me, it's Bayelsa.
Alright now, Simon, now talk to us about the relegation battle in the Group B where we saw Ekiti Queens and Sunshine Queens did lock-ons with their fellow counterparts. Ekiti Queens did the unthinkable by beating Rivers Angels, who had already qualified, not just a goal but 2 goals. And I was there to see the match live. It was a fantastic display of football from Ekiti Queens, and they were able to avoid relegation. Let's not forget that at the start of this season we spoke about the mentality of staying in the league. Are you excited with that result? And also Remo Stars ladies doing Ekiti Queens the favour to help them stay up in the league. Talk about what did go down last week and how excited you are.
Let me say this. Let me start from this. A big congratulations to Ekiti Queens. At least they were able to escape the relegation zone. Like I did say last week, it's not good for you to pray for another team to lose because of you want your team to win. Maybe I had a kind of heavy tongue, so maybe that came through. Probably just the kind of prayer came through. I'm really happy seeing Ekiti Queens at least staying in the league. Though they're not going to go for sponsors, but at least they are still in the league. And there's one thing I want to say concerning Sunshine Queens. I will just appreciate why the management of the team and the government to actually work more on that team. It's a team with a good prospect, but I think they are missing something. Just like what is probably happening to the male team. So they are missing something. I'm not saying the coach is the problem, but I think they need to pull more things together, put more effort on that thing, because they have a lot of ups and downs this season, and the same goes to Ekiti Queens as well. What we expected was not what really happened. Though we didn't expect them to relegate, but we expected them to at least pull one or two things together. And the most surprising result I saw for Ekiti Queens this season, as for me, is that match against Rivers, where they won 2 goals to me. I was really surprised because when I checked the scoreboard, I was like, 2-0. How? What really happened? Where did the magician came from? What transpired on the pitch? How did they score? I was just really surprised. And when I was surprised, I was actually praying at the back of my mind that the other result should go my way, and happened that way. All thanks to Remo Queens, they tried. And a big congratulations to Remo Queens. I guess this should be the first time.
Yes, and they
actually coming. So they are still in the league. So a big congratulations to them, and I believe they can do better this season. Remo as a whole, a big congratulations to them.
Alright, now before we go, let's talk about one man in Nigerian players in the diaspora, talking about Paul Onuachu. Going back to active football, and now he was able to get 3 goals. His team was trailing at a point by 2 goals to nothing.
But it's a good one for him. Returning back to Tokyo and actually having the 3 goals to himself. When you talk about Paul Onuachu at the national team side, like Jerry said, through the national team is a competitive side. We have a lot of better players, we have a lot of superstars. But you know what I think is really affecting him is because he hasn't been given enough playing time. If you look at Paul Onuachu at the national team, he's always been brought in probably like minutes to the end of the match. And sometimes you, as a player, you need to play to the instruction of the coach. If you look at him, most times they bring him in rather to come and they try to consider him because of his height. They try to okay, when the ball is coming, you just bring it up. Paul is there with his head, and sometimes it's not about the height alone. He has some other strengths apart from being a good header. So things like that has to be considered when it comes to Paul being in the national team. And so other players, the likes of Lukman has been fantastic this season for his club side. He has been the strength of his club side this season, if I'm not mistaken. Then a good one for Osimhen as well, because he did not really show us what we actually expected at the Nations Cup. But since he returned back to his club side and a lot of things have been considered at his club side, he has been giving us what we expected. It has been goals and goals speak this in. So it's a good one for all Nigerian players this season outside the league.
Alright, thank you very much, Wonder. Thank you very much, Jerry, for your time on this show today. I thoroughly appreciate the both of you, and I do wish we can do this again next time, right? Thank you very much.
It's nice to have me again.
That was Steve Wonder and Jerry joining the conversation from Commercial Capital in Lagos, and together we've been able to expand the conversation on the Nigerian Football Federation announcing Finidi George as the coach of the Super Eagles. Next up match for the Nigerians is against South Africa. So much is promised in that particular one. A new coach coming on board. The South Africa will be hoping to come for a pound of flesh after losing out to Nigeria at the African Cup of Nations in the semi-finals. And also we've been able to talk about how things did go down in the Nigerian Premier Football League over the weekend. Enugu Rangers, the likes of Remo Star Sports Club, are keeping the hopes alive, and Rivers United losing out to Bayelsa United away from home at the Samson Siasia Stadium. Also in the Nigerian Women's League, where we saw actions did go down last weekend. The match was able to crescendo, and then we saw the teams that will progress into the Nigerian Women's Super 6. We've heard from Jerry, he's rooting out for Bayelsa Queens to at least win and also represent Nigeria at the continental stage. And also Tiwanda has to say about Ekiti Queens as well as Sunshine Queens. Ekiti Queens were able to avoid relegation. He said he is more happy with the results they got on the last match day compared to those ones they've gotten in the past. And now also we're able to talk about Nigerian players in diaspora. Paul Onashu was the big statement, getting 3 goals for his club, talking about Trabzonspor in the Turkish league, even though the team was way behind 2 goals at the point in time in the league. And now this is where we draw the curtain for this particular show this week. We'll be right here again next week. Do well to hit the like button and also the subscribe button so as to get notified anytime we drop a new video. Many thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you again on the next one. My name remains Joshua.